Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Andrew Smith, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Navy is Commander Drew Hardy. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that support them. Please stand and join the singing of the National Anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families, friends and Australians could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which he remained true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we'll read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and other operations over more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers in the Forest.
Today, on the 95th anniversary of the breaking of the Hindenburg Line, we remember and pay tribute to Bombardier Ralph Alexander Colley. Ralph Colley was the only son of Alexander John and Charlotte Kendall Colley. He was also the grandson of Mr. James Colley, the first Mayor of Kiama, New South Wales. Ralph was born in Berry, where his father was the manager of the English, Scottish and Australian Bank. Ralph attended the North Sydney Church of England Grammar School and afterwards followed his father into banking. He was working as a bank clerk for the Commercial Bank in Parramatta when war broke out in 1914. Ralph Colley did not enlist for active service straight away. In 1916, his father died, and Ralph took his new role as head of the household seriously. In March 1917, he finally joined the Australian Imperial Forces from an overriding sense of duty. Before he left Australia, friends and colleagues gathered to say farewell and wish him every hope for a safe return. The manager of his bank presented Colley with a silver wristwatch and wallet as a token of their esteem and with their best hopes for the future. Colley was sent to England with reinforcements to the field artillery. After a period of training there, he went to France in March 1918 with the rank of gunner in the 3rd Brigade of the Australian Field Artillery. By mid-1918, the war was turning in the Allies' favour. Great advances had been made since early August, and the battery was now regularly moving forward in line with infantry advances. By late September, the AIF was poised to participate in an operation against the last great German defence on the Western Front, the Hindenburg Line. As the 3rd Battery moved forward to support this operation, they came under German artillery fire. Colley was sitting on his gun as it was being pulled alongside the road when a shell burst alongside him, and he was hit in the right leg, foot and side. A man who saw him put on the stretcher and carried away described him as practically dead, although he survived long enough to get to a casualty clearing station. The best that could be done for him was done, but he died very shortly after admission. The Hindenburg Line was broken in that operation, but Ralph's mother and sisters were left to grieve their devoted son and brother. It was written of him that he was as fine a type of young Australian as could be found, and he was long remembered by his family. The following year, when his youngest sister Hope married a returned soldier, the wedding was a quiet affair, overshadowed by the memory of Ralph. His damaged wristwatch and strap, probably the ones given to him by his workplace, was returned to his mother. Ralph Colley was buried in France, aged 24. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right, along with more than 60,000 others from the First World War, and his photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of courage and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Bombardier Ralph Alexander Colley and all those Australians who have given their lives in the service of the nation. They shall grow not old, as we who are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we shall remember them. Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Bombardier, or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor tired senses barely working through the feet of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial, and good evening.